right, guys, we are at the track. We made it. We're only a little late, but I think they just called for the drivers meeting, so we made it. And the X5 towed the E30 to high place. So love this thing. It's still doing great. I think it actually has a little bit more power than my Pathfinder at towing, so it was a good time. But we're gonna go listen to what Glenn has to say. It's gonna be nothing new, but he promised us there was new things. So we're gonna go over there and then we'll come back and unload the car and get on track. All right, we made it through the driver meeting. Car's running. Our time's to get on the track right now, so I'm not gonna set up GoPros on this one. So hopefully it makes it through the first session, but we're gonna get out there. Holy shit, guys. I got off track a little early just because I wasn't filming out there. I just wanted to check things over, give it a quick cool down. Anything I ever said about E30s being useless on the track compared to an E36, I take back with this car. I don't know if it's just that it's light enough, the new RE71's on it, but this thing was, I mean, I could still light the tires up coming out of corners, but it felt so good. It didn't feel as good as an E36, but it felt so much more like a go-kart, I guess is the best way to put it. It feels so light and you can just put it anywhere, and it is so fast. Like, we are in the slow group because we don't like being in the fast group because I don't like looking in the mirror. Seeing people catch me, like I want to be the one that does all the passing. I annihilated everything out there. Like, it's so fast, it's so good. Coolant temp never even got up to halfway. It is still spitting coolant out of this. I really should have just set up an overflow setup, so that was a dumb move on my part. But yeah, this thing is good. So I'm gonna just let her sit and just check some things over, zip tie some stuff, and get the GoPro set up so the next time we come out, I'll be a little more set up. But this is gonna be a fun day. So I did money shift it once on the first straightaway. Oh, I do have that complaint. I shortened the throw on the max speeding rod shifter, and it's hard to get it into fourth. Like, there's not enough to get it in there. So you gotta like really try. But besides that, so good, so good. So yes, this car does everything, man. All right. About 10 minutes till we go back out. Nick had a great session. He had some misfire issues on the way out here, but he's figured out as long as he doesn't put it in fifth, the misfires don't come back. So his car still has a 293 in it, so he has no use for fifth.
So at fourth of the back straight, and I can still hit 120.
Yeah.
So it's got all the gear it needs, and I'm like right at red wine in fourth gear at 120 miles an hour, and that's where I like hit my braking zone.
So he's totally good. This time I'm gonna follow Nick out on track, and GoPro's charging, so we should be good there. So you guys are gonna be right here. Hopefully it's a good view. But I'm not gonna pass him in the straights where I'm clearly faster, and I'm gonna try and see if I can hang with him through all of like the back part of the track and all the intricate stuff. So we'll see if it handles good, or if Nick's car, which is like a very properly dialed E30, can get away. I think I weigh a little bit less. They're both very stripped cars, but I just think the 318 weighs less than the 325.
I can pull my back seat out and save another like 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah. But I have a factory front seat, so like that's probably heavier than your seat.
That's definitely heavier than the Corbeau. I've weighed them both. I think the difference is like 20 pounds or something.
Okay, so that's about the same as the back seats. I still have a sunroof.
I still have a sunroof.
So about the same.
Your Romaneer's open. Do you get a lot of buffering?
No. I got the OEM BMW deflector, which is also the GoPro mount. That's why it's open.
Yeah, I just jam mine in between the ceiling and the...
Oh, there you go.
And I clip it on.
You see, I still have a headliner because luxury.
Yeah, so do I. But like,
you can still, it'll bend enough?
You just shove the... I mean, this is even kind of low. You just shove
push it up.
It works.
Nick also doesn't have a heater core or any harness stuff or anything back there. You've got it all that, right?
That's all got it. That's worth some pounds. And then
I still have a heater core and everything.
Yours doesn't have... No, it has the sound deadening back here.
Oh, it does have it, yeah. You gotta push hard.
No, yours didn't have the sound deadening in the trunk, which I chiseled all this out of mine, which was like 30 some pounds of weight as well. I wonder if you're getting a lot of air in here.
It feels fine.
It could be causing the back end of the car to,
I don't know.
stuff, but
I was definitely very much in the fifth on the backstretch.
oh yeah, you have all the horsepower
And like
and all the gear.
And it feels fine. Well, I have a 373, so I don't know.
That's a great gear.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All the gear and all the powers make for all the speed. What are you hitting on the back straight?
I don't have a speedometer.
Oh,
Or attack.
or attack. You're just guessing.
I don't have a fuel gauge. I have a coolant temp gauge, and that's it.
I guess that'll do it, right?
And it's a factory BMW one, so it kind of does like this.
Does your dummy oil pressure light work?
Yes.
Okay. That's all you really need then,
Yeah.
right? It's got oil pressure and it's not overheating.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah, I don't think you can get this thing hot. I mean, well, if you lose the water pump belt, I think you can. But like even drifting, I could never really get it hot. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you on the track. update. If you saw it get hot on the track, that's why I got off in that last GoPro footage. I was like, man, maybe it has a blown head gasket again. It shouldn't have gotten hot there. I wasn't even beating on it. And then, you know, it had filled the water bottle that I put in there. I was like, man, what is it? And then I was like, it's just, it wouldn't start. And I was like, oh, I should check the belt. No belt. So when you go pick up a belt, and we'll be good. I think we're gonna get some food and some other stuff, but we should be able to make it back for 1 or hopefully 2 more sessions on track. Stoked.
Best day ever.
Nick's car is killing it, by the way.
Chris's car is killing it.
And we're back. Oh, you're a little foggy. Hold up. Got that new belt on there? It's way stiffer than the old one was. I actually have room to tension it, so I think we're good. Got my overflow back in there with the hose. I think we should be good. And before I put the cap on, I was watching not a single bubble in the expansion tank, so we are not at any risk of blowing head gasket at the moment. So. Nick's torquing his wheels, eating a sandwich.
Just one not completely loose. Almost fell off. What the fuck? And it wasn't, I tried turning the stud.
It wasn't the stud?
Stud's not turning. The lug nuts just keep backing out.
Is your wheel wallowed? And that's not even the one that like shares. Like that one has like a...
No fucking clue, man. Oh, this one's loose too. Look at this shit. Hand tight. You just turn it off by hand.
That's sketchy.
And like the stud is...
Still tight?
Well, the stud's got some like movement too though.
You want to tighten the stud? Or you tighten that back up?
Maybe.
Oh! Nick's exhaust also kind of fell off a little bit, so we're going to fix that up. We're only going to get 1 more session on track, so I'm going to go hard to sell it because I got a trailer. All right, Nick's exhaust is all back up and good. This thing's idling and good, not pushing any coolant. But we saw some other BMW people here, so we got about a half an hour till our next and our last session. We're gonna go talk to people. I think we might already know them actually. guys, that last session was a bust. I don't know if you could see it from the GoPro after we got off track and I was working on it. But it overheated like instantly when it was on track. And then I got out and coolant was pouring out of the weep hole on the water pump. So pretty sure that's blown head gasket again. I think it happened when I was ripping it and lost the belt earlier. So it just got hot, and if you guys saw how I put that other head gasket on and the head I reused, it was definitely a compromised way to go. So bummer, but it's easy to work on, and we'll get her back out. I am inspired by how good the car was, though. This thing is an animal. This thing will be fun to drive on the street.
It rips.
It rips.
I'm surprised.
Nick did good. He has no rear brakes, apparently.
It feels that way. They're grinding. I don't know. I'll find out when I get home. It's probably just in my head. But it was fun.
But it did a good job.
Yeah, nothing catastrophic.
And it's gonna drive home again. It's on a really good stretch of that lately.
Well, it did it in March.
Yeah.
And then it drove back onto the trailer in June or July or whatever that was at Grid Life.
Mm-hmm. Did we only do one track day here last year?
Yeah, it was just March. Was that?
That's right. I did the other one with Zach, but it was only me and Zach, and then he didn't get in, so it was just me driving. I drove his car. But anyway, I want to reiterate, it was a blast out here. The car did awesome. Sucks I lost that belt. Yeah, it's weird. This belt is way tighter than that other belt was. So maybe that was the problem. I used the incorrect belt before. It was one I had lying around. Maybe that was my problem. But car did great. Tires did great. It was a good time. It's still definitely running on 6. It's still fast, but it seems like it might have a blown head gasket. So we'll go from there. Maybe this is the time we'll O-ring the block. We'll see. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. And yeah.